Have you ever wondered about the true meaning behind the famous verse of Matthew 24:40-42? It says, "Two men will be in the field, one will be taken, the other left. Two women will be grinding with a handmill, one will be taken, the other left. Therefore keep watch, because you do not know on what day your Lord will come." Many people often use this passage to support the theology and the idea of the rapture. But what does this actually mean? What does it mean to be left behind? And what does the context say? Well, today we'll dive deep into what this passage actually means and dive deep into the context and why you actually want to be left behind. Now note that I'm not trying to discuss my opinions on the rapture in this video. That's a topic for another day. Instead, I will explain that this verse does not teach the rapture. Now, on the surface, this verse looks like a typical description of the rapture. People disappearing and people being left behind. But to understand what this passage means, we must look at the context. So, in Matthew chapter 24, there's one main theme discussing the signs of the end times and what it will be like. In verse 37, Jesus starts to compare the coming of the Son of Man to the days of Noah. As it was in the days of Noah, so it'll be at the coming of the Son of Man. Jesus goes on to make this connection in verses 38 and 39 by saying that people will be living out their normal everyday life. And let's just read this verse real quick. "For in the days of the flood, people were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, up to the day Noah entered the ark. And they knew nothing about what would happen until the flood came and took them all away. That is how it will be at the coming of the Son of Man." When Noah entered the ark, it came to a shock and a surprise to everyone. And it was all the evil and ungodly people, basically the rest of the earth besides Noah and his family, who were taken away. Likewise, it'll be like that at the second coming of Jesus. Keep that in mind. Jesus says in Matthew 24:39-42, "And they," people in the flood story, "knew nothing about what would happen until the flood came and took them all away. That is how it'll be at the coming of the Son of Man. Two people will be in the field, one will be taken, the other left. Two women will be grinding at a handmill, one will be taken, the other left. Therefore keep watch, because you do not know what day your Lord will come." We see that Jesus makes a connection to the people who were taken away in the Noah's Ark story and the people who will be taken away at his second coming, Jesus' second coming. Now, like stated earlier, the people taken away were the unrighteous and the ungodly people in Noah's day. And when Jesus comes back, it'll be the unrighteous and unbelieving who will be taken away and put in hell. Jesus, making this connection, is saying it is a bad thing to be taken away, since being taken away is being compared to the people being taken away with the flood. And those people are being used to describe the people being taken away at the second coming. Basically, to summarize, in this passage, you do not want to be the people who get taken away. It is the ungodly who were taken away in the flood of Noah, and it will be like that at his second coming. Lots of people take this verse out of context to think it is a good thing to be one of the people who are taken away, and a bad thing to be left behind. But when you look at the context and the surrounding verses, you will see that it is the opposite. You want to be one of the people who stay behind. And you don't want to be one of the people who get taken away. Because the people who are being taken away at Jesus' second coming are being compared to the people who get taken away in the flood story. It is the unrighteous and the ungodly who were taken away in the ark story, It'll be like that at Jesus' second coming. This is why context matters. It's because when you just look at the single verse saying, one will be taken, the other left, it does seem like the description of the rapture. People being taken, people being left behind, and you're like, oh yeah, this sounds just like the rapture. But you have to look into the context and see what this actually is talking about, and that's why context is so important. So we can better understand what the Bible is trying to say and what its I hope you guys liked my video today. If you have any thing you want to add or things you want to comment on, make sure to leave in the comment section below. And I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I'll see y'all later. Goodbye.